Watching Jujutsu Kaisen was a mistake. This was me before Jujutsu Kaisen, this was me after watching season 1, and this is me after finishing season 2. Gege Sensei introduced us to so many lovable and interesting characters just to snatch them away from us way too soon. There's an unexplainable feeling you get while watching Jujutsu Kaisen that makes it a surreal experience. You can't help but watch the show with a looming feeling of tenseness and anxiety. Even in the good moments, you're unsure of whether something terrible might happen 5 minutes later. This is what makes me and so many others love Jujutsu Kaisen, even though it's basically poison for my mental health. In this video, I want to break down how Gege crafted this story in a way that forces us as the audience to connect on such a deep level. For starters, the unique point of view in which we experience Jujutsu Kaisen is the main catalyst for this feeling. In shonen, it's common for the main character to have some type of powerful demon or being trapped inside of them. What separates Yuji from others is that while Sukuna is living within his body, he's being consciously suppressed by Yuji at all times. Early in season 1, we see the damage Sukuna can cause when he's able to run free in Yuji's body. His short time free ends with Megumi almost summoning Maharaga and our protagonist dying in the 5th episode of the show. And to make matters worse, he made a pact with Yuji to be able to control his body anytime he wants for a whole minute. This leaves us, the audience, watching with a sense of unease, not knowing exactly what Sukuna is planning or when he'll take action. And just as quickly as we feel thrown into the sorcerer world of Jujutsu Kaisen, so is Yuji. We can't help but empathize with him because one day he's a normal teenager, but making one mistake while trying to save his friends put him in a position where he was set to be executed. From this point on, Yuji is forced to make the best out of a terrible situation. As the audience, rooting for Yuji means rooting for him to ultimately die for the greater good. Knowing that, all we can do is hope that his journey is somewhat enjoyable, keeping his impending doom in mind. However, this is not the case at all. Yuji starts his journey just like any other shonen protagonist with the righteous belief that he won't kill anyone on his path of saving and protecting others. He learns early on through his encounters with Mahito that curses are not redeemable. Yuji befriends Junpei, who at the time was a suspect in a crime involving a curse. We see Yuji look past the accusations against Junpei and see the good in him, ultimately saving him from the dark path Mahito was leading him towards. That is, until Mahito orchestrates a plan to get Junpei to snap and abandon his humanity. Mahito uses the death of Junpei's mother to frame the bullies from his school. Just as Junpei was about to catch his first body, Yuji stops him. It's only through empathy and understanding that Yuji is almost able to save Junpei. That is, until he shows up.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Yuji being helpless in the moment and asking Sukuna for help only to get laughed at makes you as an audience member want to jump through the screen and fight alongside him. Up until this point, Yuji is the only character that we truly know on a deep level. We know exactly how alone he is, losing his only family member, and because of that we know exactly how much and why he cherishes his friendship so much. As the audience, we feel every ounce of anger because Yuji represents positivity in the Jujutsu world, while curses represent all the negative aspects of humanity. Naturally, as audience members, we gravitate towards supporting Yuji in his journey, and this connection is what ultimately hurts us the most. While Junpei's death was devastating, it was only the beginning of the pain Yuji would have to face. In Shibuya, we witnessed Yuji at his lowest point ever, after Sukuna once again takes over his body and kills a countless amount of people, only to force Yuji to see the destruction after switching back. Yuji reaches a breaking point which only us as the audience can truly understand. All of his effort in bringing positivity in the world and saving people was destroyed in about 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, he was forced to take a backseat in his own body and watch Sukuna kill, torture, and destroy. Yuji, upon gaining control back, takes full responsibility for what happens. Inside, he feels responsibility because of a sense of inner weakness. He's not strong enough to protect his one and only reason for living, which is why this scene of him pleading to die is heartbreaking to watch. Having seen his entire journey all the way from being forced to create his reason for being a Jujutsu sorcerer and having it challenged and ultimately shattered is painful. As if this wasn't enough, Yuji's very first encounter after being back was seeing Mahito kill Nanami right in front of him. Not gonna lie, Mahito deserves his own video because I don't think I've ever seen a villain be such a diabolical little piece of shit. While fighting Yuji, Mahito somehow figures out a way to be even more of a bigger turd. The whole time he was fighting Yuji, it turns out he had a body double that was fighting Nobara. He drags Nobara down to the train station and gives her the Fetty Wap treatment. Gege, I swear you will pay for your sins.
Thank y'all for taking on this ride with me. Yeah. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
This was the breaking point for Yuji. Yuji, and after having his third mental breakdown in 20 minutes, it was only because of Todo's words he was able to move forward. Newly invigorated, Yuji and Todo fight Mahito, and through a lot of grit and sacrifice, they were finally able to defeat him. Yuji finally gets his get back. Well, not exactly, because right as he's about to finish Mahito, Kenjaku absorbs him using his curse spirit manipulation. The ultimate resolve that not only Yuji, but us as the audience were waiting for was taken away from us. Ultimately, the way we feel unfulfilled in this moment is exactly how we can imagine Yuji feels. The sick and twisted thing is that all of this is by design. Gege uses Yuji as an instrument to cause us, the audience, pain and suffering. Why? I'm not exactly sure. All I know is the one thing we can do is push forward and fight back with the Lobotomy Kaisen.